Welcome everyone. This is episode 39 of 39 of the Contextual podcast. I'm your host, Chris Phelps, and tonight I've got a slightly different podcast from the norm, and it's something I've wanted to do for a long time, is get somebody on who's got a really, really good knowledge and understanding of somewhere that I absolutely love, which is Las Vegas. And I've got Steve on from Las Vegas, UK.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, mate. And thanks for coming on as well.
No problem.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah. I mean, to most people who watch the podcast and listen to it, it's a slightly different thing, but I really love Las Vegas. And when I sort of started speaking to you on Twitter and some of the other guys who do the vlogging and that, I had to get you on. And I'm just really pleased we got it sort of together within a couple of days, which is excellent.
Yeah, more and more people to convert.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And if I hear anybody say that Las Vegas is like, Blackpool or anything, then they're getting thrown out of a window because I hate that. It's just nowhere near it, is it?
Yeah, if that's your opinion, turn this one off now. I'm not doing you any favours, am I?
No.
Everyone turns off.
No, don't worry. Most people turn off after 5 minutes anyway. No, it's really good. I mean, what to do, Steve, if you want to give a brief intro of yourself and the site, because the site's really good. I genuinely have been looking at it the last couple of days, and what your message is and stuff with Las Vegas and stuff, why you sort of do put the time in that you do.
Yeah, so the site really it's very new because there's nothing really out there for British visitors to Vegas. There's a lot of sort of American sites out there, a lot of American podcasts, but there's nothing for us Brits. So I kind of thought, well, I'm going to set up a blog. I'm just going to see how it goes. I'm not going to panic about updating it every day. But the site is dedicated to Vegas and it's aimed at British visitors. There's all kinds of stuff on there. There's hotel reviews. There's guides to things like resort fees, which we'll probably end up talking about. There's guidelines to getting your ESTA for getting over there. There's tipping guidelines because most people really struggle with what you should tip when in somewhere like Vegas, which is kind of built on tipping. So there's loads of stuff on there.
Oh, that's good. And I'm funny you should say that, actually, because I'm looking at the tipping thing as we speak. So I've just been looking through, and then there is because obviously in this country, it's tipping. It's not like it's frowned upon, but it's not like other countries where the waitresses and waiters make their money off the tips most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And in Vegas, it's kind of even more so because if you're playing in a table game, you need to think about how much you're going to tip the dealer. If you're drinking and the cocktail waitresses are bringing you drinks, you should tip them. And you can kind of use tips to your advantage as well, if you know the right amount to tip.
Oh, is that when you're getting more drinks and stuff?
Yeah. So, for example, if you're playing in a casino, they will ply you with free alcohol as much as you like. You can have pretty much anything. Well, within reason. I mean, don't go there expecting, Grey Goose vodka unless you're betting a decent amount. But they'll give you drinks. So, for example, the standard is to tip maybe $1-2 a drink. And the drinks are free. You don't have to pay for them. But that's how the cocktail waitresses who bring the drinks around make their majority of their money. I like to open with a bigger tip. Maybe $10, $15, which you're probably going to pay for a drink on the strip anyway.
Yeah.
That generally means that cocktail waitress is going to keep bringing me drinks, and she's going to bring them maybe 3 or 4 times the hour. If I'm never going to go with an empty glass. Yeah,
which is good, and I know that from when we were on JD and Cokes.
Yeah,
and that was the tip someone had said to us to sort of start high. Maybe not as high as $15, but it was, a few times like $10 and that. But you're right, it's a good little thing to do, really.
Yeah, it's all relative too. I mean, if you're playing in one of the top casinos, you're going to be maybe tipping slightly more. If you're playing downtown somewhere, maybe a little bit less.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how many times have you been to Vegas then, Steve? So obviously you know this really well, that sort of side of it.
I've been about 6 times now. I'm only 28, so I didn't go to Vegas till I was 21. Just because I'm not gonna try and not go down the kids argument, because there's a lot of division over whether people think you should take kids to Vegas or not.
Yes.
But really, you need to be 21 to fully appreciate everything Vegas has to offer, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I agree with that. That's one of the reasons why I've not been since 2013, which will be 5 years in May.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons my daughter's, she's currently 17, but when we went, she stayed with like my parents, and she was only 12 then. So
Yeah.
again, that's what stopped us. We've been twice, 2012, 2013, and I wanted to go every year. But the same as you, thinking I don't want to leave her again, but also knowing that some of the stuff me and my missus got up to would not have been possible if my daughter had been with us. And that's, she's my daughter, I love her, but this time she's coming with us and she'll be 18. And I know these things we're not going to be able to do, but it's not going to hinder just being there and being at Vegas.
I mean, I know plenty of people that go to Vegas, they take the kids, they still have a great time. I don't have children, so I don't have that worry at the moment. But so it is doable. Don't get me wrong. If you're listening, you have children, you really want to go to Vegas, you still can. There's still things for them to do. It just makes it a little bit more difficult if you're going to, for example, gamble a lot, because you can't hang around in casinos with children. They can walk through them, but that's about it. And obviously, if you've got a child with you, someone needs to be with that child.
Yes, yeah.
You can't leave them in the hotel room and go off and enjoy yourselves.
I'm sure some do, but yeah, you're not supposed.
I'm pretty sure there's actually services where you can pay the hotel and they'll babysit your kids, but yeah, it doesn't really sit right with me.
No, that wouldn't with me either. To be fair, I think if you're going away as a family, you should be together, especially somewhere like that. It's such a big place, isn't it?
Yeah. But there is, if I can just recommend, I probably shouldn't really do this because it'll drive traffic away from me. But if you go online and look at websites like Vegas Message Board, you'll find a lot of trip reports.
Yeah.
And on there's loads of them that people have gone with children. So go and have a read and you'll get some ideas.
Yeah, I mean, we looked. I know there's stuff like Circus is fair and that, but that's about it. And it's not exactly
the only selling point of Circus.
Yeah. I was just about to say that it's that's all I can say. There's a reason that it's always the cheapest hotel when you're looking for packages in the UK. Anyway, and I've been in there a few times. So yeah.
Well, this is the other interesting thing. The majority of UK guests seem to stay at either Circus, the Luxor, or Excalibur.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but they're not necessarily the best properties in Vegas. They're not necessarily best positioned properties. Excalibur and Luxor are really clumped at one end of the strip. If you're wanting to be more in the action, you kind of need to be more center strip. But it's interesting because those are the hotels that travel agents over here love to put people into.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of tend to try and book my flight and my hotel separately.
Plus, you can get deals, can't you? Like you were telling me this. I'd asked you some questions about the comping, which has become quite popular now. So what does that actually mean then, Steve, with the comping things and stuff?
Okay, so there's a variety of different comps. Comps basically means complimentary, so free of charge. So if you're drinking it can range from, for example, if you're having a drink in the casino and you're playing, you're gambling, then that's a free drink. That's a comped drink.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're going to have to tip, but you're not paying for it. If you went and ordered that same drink at the bar, it might cost you $10, $15. Vegas isn't cheap.
Yeah.
And even with comps, you're not necessarily getting the great deal you think you're getting. Because in order to gain comps, you need to be gambling. And so, for example, I don't pay for hotel rooms in Vegas.
Yeah.
But that's because I go and I gamble. I play video poker, slot machines. I don't gamble at all in the UK, but I do when I'm in Vegas.
Yep.
So that means that I don't pay for a hotel room. But that's because the hotel or the resort knows they're getting my money, and probably more money, than if I paid for the room.
Yeah.
So, it swings around about. Sometimes you win.
Yeah.
And if you win, then happy days. You've won some money. You've got your free room. I've had trips to Vegas where it's literally cost me nothing. However, there are then trips where you lose, and you could lose, and let's say $500 when the room would have cost you $100.
Yes.
So there's nothing for free in this world, and don't chase comps basically.
Yeah.
Unless you're going with the express purpose of gambling. Anyway, there's no point chasing them. Just relax, enjoy your holiday. If you get any comps, it's a bonus.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember in 13 when we went. I didn't pay much attention in 12, but there was that M Life at the MGM, and I remember contemplating signing up where you got the card, and obviously you could top your card up, couldn't you? And there was benefits to that. But as you said, it was the gambling side of it, and me and my wife, we only ever do the slots because I had a couple of get rich quick schemes when we were there on the tables, and they lasted about 5 minutes, and quite a lot of money. So we were just like, that was at the end of the first trip. We were like, right, we stuck to the slots anyway because we just enjoyed that razzmatazz of like you might win $5, but you could be sat there for an hour, 2 hours, like you say, having a drink and just having a good time together. And I know that doesn't appeal to a lot of people, but it just did to us, and we loved it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, so I've already disclosed that I'm a gambler. I go to Vegas, and there's lots of great machines, slot machines especially. And they're easy to play because they require no skill at all. It's not like if you're playing poker where you need to understand the game, or blackjack or roulette. You don't need to understand the game. You're literally just pressing a button. And it's funny because people have all these kind of rituals, but it's all down to pure chance. It's computer-generated numbers. Whatever you do, whether you stroke that machine, you see weird things. People do weird things. You're going to get the same result. What I would say is sign up for players clubs.
Right, okay.
So M Life is one of the major ones, which you already mentioned.
Yeah.
And that's for any MGM resort property. So things like Bellagio, Excalibur, Luxor, that group of properties. And you can find out this online.
Yeah.
That gives you a card, kind of like a Tesco club card, if you will, of casinos. And whenever you play, put that card in the machine. There's a slot for the card, put it in the machine. That enables the casino to track your play.
Yeah.
Okay, and track how much you've bet, which gives them an average over your whole trip. So let's say you're staying at Bellagio for 3 nights and you bet $1,000 a night. And bear in mind that money is going to get recycled through. You're not necessarily going to just bet $1,000 because it's going to keep going through the machine because you're going to win sometimes.
Yeah.
You may rebet that money, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
They'll track that, take an average, and then a percentage of that would go towards comps.
Ah, right.
So that's how you earn comps.
Yeah.
So the other major one is Total Rewards. And Total Rewards is more the club I play. Just because I always have in Vegas. I know there's others that swear by M Life. They're very similar, perhaps slightly different earning rates. I think, for example, with I think it's Total Rewards. It's for every $5 you get 1 tier credit.
Ah, right, okay.
But anyway, there's different levels. Tier credits build up your levels, so different tiers. So, for example, with Total Rewards, I'm a diamond member, which automatically gets me my resort fees comped, for example.
That's really good.
But to get to diamond, you have to have 15,000 tier credits. Now, 15,000 tier credits, if you're getting 1 for every $5 you're betting, you can see why the casino always wins.
Yes, yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and M Life is the same with gold. There's all kinds of tricks out there, with how to get more tier credits. For example, if you play video poker, the credits get recycled much quicker, so you generally can move up the tiers quicker. And Total Rewards, there's bonuses. So, like, if you get to a certain number of tier points that day, you get a bonus 5,000. So there are ways, to
do it. Yeah,
do it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's good for anyone who's listening as well, who's thinking of going, because I know these ways around. I'm one of these people. You might be this like yourself. Is before I go anywhere, especially somewhere like Vegas, I research as best I can where I can get the blags, where I can, dodge something, get something free. Like when we were in 2012, we had a room flooded. And the room flooded out. It was literally, they were renovating the MGM because we stayed in the MGM both times. Mm-hmm. And the room flooded in the middle of the night in the bathroom. And it was something to do with the plumbing. Anyway, within 10 minutes, the room service was up there. The room was cleaned, or the bathroom was absolutely spotless. Nothing was heard of. And when we were checking out, I remember I seem to like I'm used to be bad for like trying to blag stuff and getting freebies and stuff. Anyway, didn't think anything of it. Didn't make a big song and dance because we had such a good time. And then when we got in 13, I decided to ring them because they had a record of us. Anyway, I rang them up, and basically we got upgraded to the one of the top suites there with a big jacuzzi bath and all that. But then the Rolling Stones are on 2013. Nice. So the room we were in had been double booked. So even though they give it as a comp, when we got there, they were like, I'm so sorry, Chris, Mr. Phelps, like, we're going to have to put you in a normal room. But they give us all sorts. We had like that car show on the first night, even though we were jet lagged. Me and my wife were absolutely front row seats, and we had free meals, we had the room, we had room service. They couldn't do enough for us. And it was like, and that was just from a simple phone call saying like, we had a bit of a bad time, and it wasn't anything, I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was the truth, but I played on it a bit, and I got there, and I said to you, didn't I want to do the $20 gag in the passport. What's that about, Steve, for anyone who's listening? Because I know what that is because I've read it online. But
okay, so the $20 trick is, I've split opinions on this, because sometimes I think that you can get a long way just by being nice and being friendly. But the $20 trick is basically a tip, but it basically is a bribe at check-in. To try and get a free room upgrade or something out of when you're checking in out of the hotel. So what you do is you are supposed to discreetly put a $20 bill between your ID, because you'll have to provide ID when you check in, and your credit card, because you'll also have to provide a credit card. Like most hotels. And the hope is that $20 tip for the check-in agent will result in some kind of upgrade. Now, I think that there's a lot to be said just for being nice. I have had many an upgrade just by being pleasant. Remember, these guys are checking in people all day. Probably some people that got off of flights that have been delayed for hours who aren't happy. Just be friendly. Ask for what you want, be specific, and you may get the upgrade. By all means, then tip them. Alternatively, if you want to try the $20 trick, do it. But again, be specific, because otherwise, what will happen is you'll end up with the exact same room, just on a higher floor. Is that really worth $20?
No, not really.
So be specific. Do your research beforehand. For example, I don't know, if you're staying at Cosmopolitan, you might want to be on a particular floor with a view of the Bellagio fountains, because they've got the balconies there. But if you do your research, they can put you with a view of the Bellagio fountains, but if you're too low, you'll actually just have a view of the Bellagio sign. So you want to be high. So do a bit of research beforehand, look for what you want, and be specific. If they can't give it to you, they'll give you back the $20. They're not just going to take it. Never in my experience have they. And worst case scenario, they'll offer you a paid upgrade. Then you decide, well, do I want to pay for the upgrade or not? Often that'll be a better rate than if you'd booked it originally, but it won't be free.
And it's like you say, being kind to most people goes a long way at the end of the day, especially like you say, to getting arsey people stuff. So
Absolutely.
It's common sense, really, isn't it? With something like that, that's just it makes more sense, really.
And if you have a look at the website Las Vegas UK, you'll find on there I've put a post about top 10 tips for first-time visitors to Vegas. And the $20 trick, I mentioned it in there, so go and have a look.
But nice. I mean, I stumbled across that. I'll be putting all the links to your site and Twitter handles definitely at the end. And it was something I stumbled across a couple of years ago, and I don't think I used it when we went. Well, there might have been just before we went in 2013, because 12 I went quite green and we didn't really know what to expect as such. We'd done a bit of research, but I wanted to see it fresh because it's my wife's birthday. But it's interesting. Now, obviously, as I said, we're staying at the MGM, but we're staying this time in the middle, so we're going into Bally's. And obviously, I've seen the nice new area they've got. They've got that sort of London Eye type thing that goes around. What's your sort of opinion of that area now? Because it's quite central, which is a good thing.
The interesting thing about Bally's is, and you're thinking of the High Roller, which is actually by the link.
Right, okay.
But Bally's, the interesting thing is, you're saying you've only ever stayed at the MGM. Bally's used to be the original MGM Grand.
Oh, for the fire. Yes.
For the fire, So Bally's is a decent price property. It's got decent rooms. They've recently just renovated the other tower there. The Jubilee Tower would be my preference.
Yeah.
Because although it was renovated, I think it was in 2014, maybe. The rooms are good. I think they're better positioned. You got a bit more of a walk if you're in the other tower. I think they've called the other tower the Resort Tower now. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I'll have a look at it. I think we're the Jubilee Tower, Steve. To be honest.
Yeah, that would be my preference. Also, the resort one is where the fire was, and I don't know. I find that a bit weird.
Yeah, a bit eerie.
Yeah, but Bally's is a decent resort. It's part of Total Rewards.
Yep.
Which is also the same. That's Caesars, basically. So Caesars Palace, the Link, Flamingo, all of those in that area. Paris, Planet Hollywood. They're all part of the Total Rewards scheme.
Oh, that's good.
So sign up for that. All the loyalty clubs are free, by the way.
Oh, that's good.
And sign up for those because you also, can accrue points on hotel spend, and everything like that. The other thing I like about Total Rewards properties is wherever you play, it counts. Whereas with M Life, it's much more property centric. So if you play a lot at Bellagio, you're going to get more offers from Bellagio.
Ah, right, yeah.
But if you're staying at Bellagio and you spread your play amongst Bellagio, Excalibur, Mandalay Bay, you're going to get less offers because it doesn't necessarily all count towards your Bellagio stay.
Ah, right. Which makes sense, yeah.
Whereas with Total Rewards, it doesn't matter. As long as it's one of their properties, it counts.
Do you have to get them when you're over there, Steve? Or can you sign up beforehand? Or
you can sign up online beforehand and then just pick up the card when you're there. But it's just as easy to sign up there.
Yeah.
I think I did sign up beforehand, just because being from the UK, sometimes it's easier when putting in postcodes and things.
Yeah. Because you've got the zip code stuff, haven't you? Which is
and your tier really is important. Even just if you're planning just to go as a regular visitor, not really gamble, because you get discounts even just being an M Life member. So if you're going to book with M Life or Total Rewards, even join beforehand and you'll get a discount.
Yeah, exactly.
It might just be 10%, but
hey, it all counts, doesn't it? Exactly. That'll be going on a different slot machine then if I get the 10%. So yeah. Now obviously with my daughter going, and it's going to be a slightly different holiday. We're looking at maybe hiring a car again because last time my sister lives in Vancouver. She's coming down with her husband to see us, which is great. I've not seen her since October 2013. She come back to the UK because she got married. So she met us in the May, come down to Vegas, and she's been to Vegas every year since. And I know my brother-in-law, he's working in Vegas this month actually because he's a chef, vegan chef. So he's back in there.
Nice,
the bastard. So so he's been winding us up. So he actually might be there now. I know he said it was March. But
I can't I get so jealous about people in Vegas when I'm not.
I know. It's like we said these obviously I've come across yourself and we've chatted and become mates through here. It's Matt Bridger and Nikki from ours because their vlogs and Matt's going in a few weeks. If anyone on YouTube wants to see what they're about, he's get on YouTube and Matt or Nikki from ours. But I follow them all from Twitter and he's going over Easter, which is just
Matt's great. Matt's the annoying thing is Matt goes and comes back literally 2 days before I go.
Oh, do they?
I'm going to miss him, which it would have been fun to meet up with him.
Oh, that's going to be good when you go. We'll have to get you back on as well when you come back as well to have a bit of a chat, about what's happened. Because
I'll give you a ring from Vegas, possibly at 3 a.m. when I'm half out.
It's Vegas. We can make exceptions. Don't worry about that.
You'll hear Wonka in the background.
As long as you're winning, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Now, food-wise, one of the big things with me is food. Like I always try and go and get as trim as I can before I go somewhere like that because it's just an all-out assault on everything that's just not right for you. Now my daughter's a massive pizza lover, so where do you recommend for pizzas and stuff? Because pizza pie
probably Secret Pizza, which is at the Cosmopolitan.
Let me write these down because I'm gonna.
But if you're going to go to Secret Pizza, you kind of need to do a bit of research beforehand. Because it's not signposted, it's secret. It literally is, but it's really popular. So I mean, if you ask someone, they'll be able to direct you.
Tell you where it is.
You can just look up directions online beforehand. But it's secret. It literally is secret. It's down this random sort of hallway.
Yeah.
You'll know it because there's kind of like posters all on this corridor. And I think they had a pinball machine in there. I can't remember last time I was in there. But that's probably my go-to on the strip.
All right, I love some of that. Definitely.
At the Cosmo, yeah. I try and give you directions, but I'm appalling at this, even in this country. So
hey, we'll find
it up online. You'll find it.
I will do.
Sandwiched in between a couple of restaurants.
Hey, the thing is with Vegas, you don't mind walking. I don't mind stumbling across anything when I'm there. I just love the place. Absolutely great. What's been your out of all the trips you've done? So obviously, like you said, you've been 6 times now. Yeah. What have you stayed in different properties, or have you concentrated on the same ones? Or
I'm a bit weird because I tend to double book. Now, that's because I get free play from different resorts, and you often have to be staying at that property to play that free play.
Yeah.
But my sort of home property, as I call it in Vegas, you can tell I'm a Vegas geek because I call it a home property.
Good. No wrong with that.
Is Caesar's Palace.
Nice.
Just because I've always stayed there. I've always had great service there. It's iconic. I've tried a lot of the rooms there. I'm actually staying at Nobu, which is the boutique hotel within Caesars on this trip.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Which is one I haven't stayed at, so I'm looking forward to trying that one out. Cosmopolitan is a great one because it has balconies, and that's a unique feature to that property. Where else could I recommend? Let's go top 3. Well, how about so if you're looking at the lower end, if you're not wanting to spend a lot of money, at the moment my go-to would be Harrah's because they've just remodeled their tower. And a Valley Tower room is really looking good. So that would be my recommendation if you're looking to save money.
Yeah.
Mid-range, maybe Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
Which is quite a happening property. Decent rooms, also recently refurbished, maybe in the last year and a half.
Good position as well, isn't it?
Sorry, say that again?
Sorry, it's a good position on the strip as well.
Yeah, well positioned.
Yeah.
As is Harrah's centre strip.
Yeah.
And then top end, for me, it's Caesars, but also Cosmo and Aria. Any of those sort of high-end resorts. So this time I'm also double booked to Aria on a comp.
So how does that work then? Is that just your whole stays free? And do you just go play there?
Yeah, my stays are free based on previous play.
Right, okay.
Now, I could turn up and not play at all, but then that would result in me probably not getting free rooms again. So,
right, okay.
You don't want to burn the casino.
Yeah.
You can. There's something called being overcomped.
Yeah.
Which you can get away with now and then, but I would never book for free and then not go and play. The casino's expecting you to play, and you at least need to cover your room.
Exactly, really. And that's the whole point as well. They know that as well, don't they? So they know how.
Yeah, it's roughly sort of. You have to cover casino rate. So depending on the property, you'll have to play more at a better property to cover your room.
Yeah, which makes sense.
If you're staying at Luxor, you'll have to play less than if you're staying at Bellagio, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, you might also cover it might be that if you stay at Luxor, you'll get your food and drink covered as well.
Yeah.
Whereas at Bellagio, maybe only your room because of the difference in rates. So think about that too if you're comp chasing. I would imagine, though, most people that are getting comps probably know quite a lot about Vegas already.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I say, I only go off playing the slots and not playing the table. So my knowledge of that is there, and I'll read it on the blogs like yourself and then, read the different things. But until you're there, I don't think you know the experience, and you pick things up yourself, don't you, that work better for you.
Two things on that too. Playing slots is the best way to get comps because the casino make most of their money off slots.
Oh, right, okay.
So if you go to, say, a Total Rewards property, and are you a Total Rewards member? I'm guessing
no, but I will be after this. Don't worry about that.
Join up.
Yeah.
Give them a little bit of play.
Yeah.
You will get an offer. You will get a comp room somewhere for your next trip because, especially when you're a new member, they want to entice you back.
Ah, right, okay.
So even if it's a small amount of money, go and play with your player's card. Do it. Try and do it strategically. So don't go and pay $10 a day unless you're gonna, what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to play $100, play $100.
Yeah.
And then don't put your player's card in again unless you're going to play $100 again.
Right. Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll affect your average.
Yeah. Because it's going to go up and down, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas at least if you put 100 in, you've cycled it through, you may have a decent enough average to generate maybe at least a discounted room.
Yeah. No, wrong with that. No, that's good. That's really good. Thank you for that. Because I think when we went in 13, I'd sort of understood, we all understand gambling and what's it about. But I remember there was a machine in the MGM, and it was where the Lions used to be. And it was quite an open space because it's where David Copperfield's room was. And we went to see David Copperfield, which I still say, what's he called? The magician over here was better. I thought David Copperfield's was proper cheesy. It was like watching an episode of The Simpsons or something, the way he did certain things. And
they do a lot of illusions, don't they?
Yeah, it was a good trick. Like he got a Cadillac car in the middle of the room and stuff like that. But everything he did, he was like, and everyone had to go, as soon as he did like these hand gestures, everyone had to clap him like, and he might just get a card out of his pocket.
Yeah.
Dynamo, I thought Dynamo was on the scene then. So it was like, I wasn't really impressed with a lot of things. And I said to Sam at the time, like, your wife, he's gonna turn up behind us. I'm not saying I could do it because I couldn't. I'm not being disrespectful, but I just wasn't blown away because the Dynamo thing had took off in the UK where he's walking on water, and so it didn't get me as much. But anyway, we were at this machine, and I saw one of the M Live cards in the machine, but there's nobody about, and this guy was next to me, and he was playing the slot.
Yeah,
and I just wanted to play. It was a Batman slot we used to play, so I wanted to play it, the Batman v the Joker one. And as I say that, there's my Batman mask there, which is a bit worrying. But behind me, but we played it, and I just said to Sam, I said, "Oh, what this card's in here for?" Anyway, took the card out, starts playing it, didn't win anything. It's only there about 5 minutes or so. Put like $20 in or whatever. Literally walked away, and this woman come back, didn't she? Went mental. Like this guy sat next to her. He moved over then to this one that she'd been on. This woman had obviously put the card in to stop people playing on it because she was topping the card up. I didn't know that, and it looked like the guy had took her card out and sat in his seat. But literally, as I got up, he went and sat in his seat, and they had a massive barney. Me and Sam, Mrs. just walked off. I was like, "All right, we need to get out of here quick."
I would have done the same as you. If you're not a machine, unless you're betting big enough that the sort of slot host will lock it for you, which they will do. You'll see machines out of service. That's probably because the big players playing them has gone for dinner somewhere. If the card's there, take it out, play the machine. That's what I would do.
Right. So I wasn't. It's not like an etiquette thing. We were worried it was like an etiquette thing where we were going to get absolutely roasted.
No, and a lot of people leave the cards in the machine by mistake because they don't think to take them out. So I always have mine on like a I've got like a Vegas lanyard thing. I don't go around walking around with my cards around my neck because that would be weird. But it means I don't forget to then take it out of the machine.
Yeah.
And I also can keep all my cards on there. The cards come pre-hole punched.
Right, yeah.
For that purpose. A lot of people do that.
And they should be as well, because if you're putting a lot of money on them, can people just use the card anyway? So if you leave it in, someone could just rinse your money, or...
Well, technically speaking, someone could play on your card, but that's only going to be good for you if they're playing big, because you're getting their points.
Yeah.
Could be bad for you if they're not playing big, because let's say you've been betting $10 a spin and then they're betting $2 a spin. That maybe is not going to be good for you.
Yeah.
But they won't be able to spend your money or anything, because you normally need a PIN number to do that, to access free play. Or if you go and use your points anywhere on the resort, you need photo ID. So
yeah, they can't do it anyway. So would you be able to get the tickets though? When you win the tickets, you get them out, don't you? Would they still come out, or would that not happen if you got the card?
Well, presumably you'll already have cashed out and you'll have just forgotten your card.
Right. Okay. Right.
Because you're not going to walk away without cashing out necessarily.
No.
Another tip on that: if you and your wife are playing, you can both use the same card at the same time. Just get 2 copies of the card. Don't sign up separately.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because then, otherwise, if you sign up separately, you're halving what you're putting in.
Yeah.
In terms of comps. So just get 2 copies. You can both use it. Absolutely fine.
I'm using this podcast as a bit of a gambling tips here, Steve. It wasn't totally intended as that, but I do appreciate all your tips so far. It'd be great.
The first thing I do when I get to Vegas is get about 5 copies of each of my Players Club cards, because then I'm invariably at some point I'm going to lose them. And I don't be the guy who goes back with my tail between my legs 6 times.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even down to stuff irrespective of Vegas, one of the things we found was we flew with Virgin both times. And the schoolboy error was I go online looking at what the best seats were if you weren't in like premium economy or first class or business class. Obviously, there's no way I could afford that. And we're in economy, and I picked seats at the back of the jumbo. Well, when you get to Vegas, that's the worst place you want to be on a plane because you're at the back of the plane, stuck in customs then for best part of an hour and a half. So this time, I picked my seats and we're right at the front of the plane because I thought we're going to be the first ones off this plane this time because I've really made some mistakes there. So they're little tips that I've picked up from the times we've been.
I've got a couple of tips on that front too. So, skip the bathroom.
Yeah.
Go on the plane about an hour or so before landing, maybe 45 minutes before landing. Use the plane toilet.
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you get off the plane, walk as quickly as you can towards the immigration line because they can be bad.
Yeah.
The longest I've waited there is probably an hour and a half.
Yeah. Me too.
The shortest is about 5 minutes. I've literally been in an Uber within minutes. So walk quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Yes. Yeah.
Something I'm doing because I travel to the US probably 2-3 times a year. I've just registered for their global entry scheme.
Okay.
So if you go frequently, you could look into registering for that. They do a background check on you. You have to go for an interview.
Yeah.
At the US Embassy in London, you can do it at the moment, or at a US airport when you're there. And then in future, for 5 years, you'll be able to skip the immigration line and go through like an American citizen through like an e-gate.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, straight through.
So I've actually only just experimented with this. I've signed up. I've got my interview at the US Embassy in London like in a couple of weeks, like a week on Wednesday, and then I'm going to hopefully, as long as I get through that, because they have to approve you for this scheme.
Yeah.
I'll be able to skip the line. So I'll have to let you know how that goes.
Please, yeah, because it's all little tips that I like them sort of things, just to make it more of a transition, because that 10, 11-hour flights, it can be a killer. So
yeah, and you don't want to be wasting Vegas time.
No, not at all. And food time as well, Steve, because I'm in the game for the food as well. Don't worry about that as much as the gambling.
If you've booked any kind of sort of limo or anything, which people do in advance, I would always book it for a little bit after your flight lands or let them know.
Yeah.
Because the clock starts as soon as the plane lands, otherwise.
Oh, does it? Oh, right, okay.
If you've hired a limo for an hour and you spend 50 minutes getting through immigration, you're going to get in that limo and only have 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then that's it. It's pointless.
Yeah, or they're going to charge you for longer. So just consider that.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. And what, obviously, with us going and stuff like that, what do you recommend show-wise? Because when we went in 13, like we'd gone and we saw, my wife wanted to see it. It's always a bit of a sticking point, but the Peep Show with Coco, Ice-T's missus, not realising that it was just like a lap dancing show, which I was quite impressed with, because I didn't really want to go to it. And then we saw like the Elvis Cirque du Soleil, which was great because he's into comic books and that. So we had a lot of like.
That's gone now.
Oh, is it finished?
Yeah, it's gone.
The Jackson one's the best now, isn't it? The Michael Jackson one.
I liked Love, which is the Beatles and Mirage.
Oh, I've not seen that one yet.
Love is worth doing if you're into Cirque.
Yeah.
My go-to show though is Absinthe.
Is that one?
Caesars. It's kind of a circus act with a difference. It's very raunchy in terms of very adult-based humor, quite dark.
Yeah.
Adult humor. So I think that might not be good for your daughter because I think you have to be 21. Might be 18. Right. Might be 21. But it's probably the best show in Vegas, in my opinion. It's that good. It's that good. Just Google it and you'll see what I mean. There's loads of reviews. If you're going to go and you don't like being involved because they do pick on people, don't sit near the front.
Yeah.
But it's really, really good. And if you're going to go and see one show in Vegas, I recommend 100% recommend it. Yeah, it's in Caesar's Palace in like a circus tent, which you can't miss as you're walking sort of outside. It's near where what is now Hell's Kitchen is. Oh,
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
It used to be Serendipity 3.
Yeah, so we never went in there, but I knew it was there. Yeah, I know exactly. Because we went, his finger's still there as well. The Cheesecake Factory, that's very important, as you can tell with the food.
Yeah, that's still in the Forum Shops.
Yeah, the Forum, near the night shop, isn't it? that Neptune thing in there, or is it Neptune? The show is the big statue thing that happens every hour or something.
I think it's every hour.
Yeah,
it changes all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a bit dated now, doesn't it, compared to some of the stuff? But it's got to be in there because of how long it's been going. I think
you're gonna find when you go, there's so much stuff that was there when you were there that's now gone.
Yeah, 5 years is a long time, isn't it?
There's so much that's no longer there. Vegas is really fast moving. Things don't last unless they're really good.
Yeah, yeah. I think everything changes, doesn't it? Like there's a Hershey shop now near New York. That wasn't even being built when we were there, and stuff like that. Like you say, like you were saying about the Lincoln stuff and the sort of that eye thing that they've got, the big circle, that wasn't there, was it? Even I think it was just
the high roller.
Starting to do it.
That probably when you were there would have still been Imperial Palace or maybe the Quad. I'm not sure.
It might have been Imperial Palace, I think.
That was a real sort of, crap heap, to put it politely. They've really turned that around.
It looks really nice. We've watched a lot of videos because of where we're staying, and it looks really impressive now. And there's a load of shops, and I mean the coffee over there is ridiculous, isn't it? The coffee shop. Is it Starbucks? Everyone goes in.
Starbucks is there. There's a 24-hour Starbucks there, I think. There's Starbucks everywhere in Vegas.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Everywhere. I remember the first meal we ever had in Vegas was McDonald's. Well, Denny's. We had Denny's. God. And we had McDonald's in the morning. So I said to Sam, I've found this bloody buffet, Steve. And we walked for ages near the Bellagio and nearly ended up on the freeway. And I was like, we need to go back. We ended up at the McDonald's sort of facing the Bellagio, like as if you're going up to the Wynn on that side. It wasn't the best, mate. It wasn't the best.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I know. All that way we go to McDonald's. And then you've got all the people dressed up in all the running gear. And then they're going in having a McDonald's and thinking you've got this all wrong. That's not the way to go, this. But yeah, I mean, Denny's was all right. They're supposed to be coming over in Manchester, Denny's, soon, I think.
So if you're looking for a decent breakfast and you're sort of jet lagged, especially, go to probably in the link Hash House.
Yeah.
It's sort of place that was featured on Man vs. Food. They have some massive breakfast there.
Oh,
worth checking out.
Yeah, I'll have some of that. I love things like that anyway, so it's really good. I mean, what for you? Like we never went to Fremont Street as well.
Yeah,
and we went once, but we didn't go at night time, which is sacrilege. It's a pointless exercise. I know that it was a schoolboy error on our part, but is it as good as what they say at night? The Fremont.
It divides people. It's a lot more. I don't know how to describe it, really. Grungy? Would that be the right word? I don't know.
Well, the only thing I'd say, to stop you there, not to cut across you, but when we went down there, it was as if the waitresses had been put out to pass, if that makes sense. That's not being too awful, but they were all a lot older down that end of the streets. Obviously, it's the old town, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just the original Vegas.
Yeah.
It's worth going to. I go every trip. I prefer to stay on the Strip just because I like playing in the Strip casinos. Yeah, people say you get better odds downtown, but it's like literally like 1%, and for me, it's not worth the trade-off. No. If you're going downtown, I would recommend Downtown Grand. If you're going to stay downtown, it's a little bit further away from the canopy there, but it's got nice rooms. They've quite recently renovated because it's quite a new property in terms of it's been refurbished, and it's also away from the noise. It can get quite noisy down there, particularly at night. But it's a great experience, and there's a lot of live performers. The live performers now have to stay on like these circles on the ground, which is better because some of them are weird. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like adult babies and things, and it's just weird. No. And you're like, get away from me.
Yeah, that's that. No.
Now they have to stay on their little circle of street performers. You go down the Strip too, mind.
They still dress up, don't they?
Yeah, but if you want a bit more of a, you're going to go into these casinos and you're going to get hit with stale smoke, that kind of Vegas vibe.
Yeah.
Downtown is worth going to. I personally don't stay downtown. I know lots of people do. Matt Bridger, you mentioned that he stays downtown normally for at least a proportion of his trip.
Yeah,
I don't, but that's just a choice. It's nothing wrong with staying downtown. It's just me personally. I prefer to stay on the strip.
No, and hey, look, each to their own. Into we all want different experiences from it. You can get out of the holiday whatever you want, can't you?
Yeah. Well, this time I'm going to a beer festival downtown, which will be interesting.
Are you going on your own, or are you going with? Is it?
Yeah, I'm going on my own.
Yeah.
I always go on my own to Vegas. Now a lot of people find that weird, particularly friends. So my fiance just doesn't get Vegas. Okay.
Right, okay.
So if she went to Vegas with me, it would be like, what's the point? You know, I wouldn't be able to gamble. Well, I would, but not as much as I do. I wouldn't necessarily be able to have the freedom I have when I'm in Vegas. I was not to say I do anything untoward, because I honestly don't. But I just prefer to be able to go at my own pace. Do I want to do when I want to do it?
Yeah.
You know, it's pointless us paying for her to fly out there if she's going to not enjoy it. So it's kind of my place to go solo. And a lot of people do. It's not unusual in Vegas to see people on their own.
Yeah.
Because you know, you just will talk to people. That's what I do. If I'm sitting at a slot machine, I'll just chat to someone. If they choose to ignore me, I'll leave them alone. But otherwise, you know, just talk to people. You can eat at the bar at most restaurants.
Yeah.
Or you can have a table on your own. It's really not unusual. So that's the only weird thing, eating on your own.
Yeah.
Personally, I do it solo. But, you know, that's only because of the situation I'm in. You know.
No, it is what it is, isn't it? You enjoy it. There's no thing about that. I totally get that. I mean,
we do holidays to other places, and then I just long for Vegas.
I'm like that. I've been like that for 5 years, honestly, Steve. I genuinely, and I can't describe it to people. And people in the family have been to other places in America, like the Disneys and stuff. And I don't know, Vegas. I just got Vegas completely. I mean, obviously, I'm a big American muscle. As I said when we spoke, I'm a big American muscle car fan, and like stuff like Smoking the Bandit. I've got my room in here is like that there. At the end of the fireplace is a Pontiac Trans Am in a Matchbox thing that my wife got me there. And on the wall is a Pontiac Trans Am over there. I mean, I've got Rocky there, but the other end is actually the Trans Am catalogue when it first came out. I absolutely love America. So I just get it. I don't know why. And I know people don't get it. And I know people at work who've been like, I'll never go again. And I understand that. And I think, well, I can understand why people, but for me, I could go 2-3 times a year if you had the money.
I'm the other end of the spectrum. I'm the one that could go every year, multiple times a year.
Yeah, exactly the same as you.
I tend to try and go just once a year.
Yeah.
The only time I've gone more than once is if I'm in America already.
Yeah.
And I may go for a couple of days, just hop on an internal flight. I tend to go around April, this sort of time, because it's not too hot, but the nicer weather is there. Saying that, I went in 2016, it rained every day.
Oh,
and this is a place where it rains barely ever.
Yeah. And it's roasting most of the time, isn't it?
I avoid the summer because it really is hot. If you're going to go in the summer, it really is hot.
Yeah, we went in May and it was supposed to be about 40 degrees when we went. I've been to Australia, like the Outback. I went to Ayers Rock and that was hot. That was about 45 degrees and we went there. That was really hot. But the air was okay. When I went to Vegas, there's no air. When it really hits you and you go outside, it's horrendous, isn't it? That.
So don't ever leave the hotel without water would be my recommendation.
Oh, yeah.
Even in April. But so I go then. I've been in February before.
Yeah, we've been February, yeah.
I quite like it because it's quiet.
Yeah.
Unless, you want to avoid things like Super Bowl weekend because that's going to be busy and prices will be higher.
Yeah. What about if you were going to Thanksgiving? Sorry to cut you up.
Go on.
If you were going over Thanksgiving and Black Friday,
actually Christmas is relatively cheap.
Yeah,
and that sort of time around it, with the exception of New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
November, December time is quite a quiet period in Vegas.
Oh, good. That's all I need to know.
I would also say probably sort of first week of January, as long as you miss CES.
Yeah.
Which is basically when hotel rooms are the most expensive ever in Vegas.
Yeah. For obvious reasons, yeah.
Yeah, so like 175,000 people go to CES and it's 150,000 hotel rooms in Vegas. So There's knowledge.
That is knowledge. I didn't know that. Oh, my word.
So you want to avoid there. So one tip is, whenever you're going to go online, look up when conferences are, because there's a lot of conferences in Vegas, conventions. All the big hotels have convention centers, and that's when room rates are going to be potentially higher, and it's going to be busier because the convention's there. So Caesars normally has CinemaCon, which is around the time I go. So I always check before I go when that convention is, because that's going to push the room rate up. I'm gonna get the room for free, but it's potentially going to mean I'm going to have to play more to cover that room. So
it's sort of counterproductive, isn't it? I mean, when we went to, as I said, the Rolling Stones were on, the MGM was absolutely hammered. There was a woman walking around in a big Kiss, the Mick Jagger lips thing, like there. She just wore that all day. And every time we saw her, she was in this outfit just walking around. And then you have obviously other people in the Rolling Stones, but it was very busy, like it would be, as I'm a massive UFC fan and boxing fan, it would be if there was a fight on.
Yeah, those weekends are crazy too. Boxing weekends, especially around sort of MGM Grand.
Oh, well, it's usually at the Grand Garden Arena, isn't it? And now, obviously, there's another one behind New York now, where the hockey is.
Yeah, there's the T-Mobile Arena. It's right near what is currently Monte Carlo, which in about a week or so is going to become Park MGM.
Yeah.
Just completely gutted that property.
It was a bit of a mess, the Monte Carlo one. Or dated. It was very dated, wasn't it?
It was, but it was decent value for what it was. It had a great pool, which they've completely destroyed. They've put in like Olympic-style pools now. Had a lazy river and everything. So that's a bit of... I'll be interested to walk through it my trip.
Yeah. See what it's like.
See what it's like. I did consider briefly booking a room there just to see what the new rooms are like, but then I thought, no, that's stupid.
We've done a buffet there. We did the Monte Carlo buffet, and that was nice. That was really nice, that.
Buffet wise, I would always recommend Bacchanal at Caesars. Wicked Spoon at Cosmo is good.
Yeah.
The Aria buffet is good. Those would be my go-tos buffet wise.
No, that's good. That really.
How long are you going for?
A week.
A week. That's about. For me, I was going to say that's probably about the right amount of time. A lot of people also think it's crazy flying 10 hours for a week.
Yeah.
But there's only so much Vegas you can take, even for someone like me. There's only so much you can take.
Yeah, exactly. You know that better than me.
Yeah, so my believe it or not, my shortest trip to Vegas from the UK was 3 days, which was basically because I got everything free. It was like, come play with us. So I thought, what the hell, I'll go. But that was a bit much. So now, really, for me, it's 6-7 days.
Yeah, you need to recover, though. You need a day or so to... You carry on going, but you need that thing to get your body back in tune a bit, I think.
Yeah, and, everything's 24 hours. So don't, be too concerned about jet lag, but you also don't want to, spend half your life there feeling rubbish.
Yeah, exactly. I must admit, when I went to Australia, I've never had jet lag like I've had when I come back from Vegas.
I seem to get it coming back from Vegas too. I don't get it going.
No, not going.
Adrenaline keeps you going when you get there.
Yeah, I totally agree. But coming back, it's like a dump, in it, like a body adrenaline dump. So I didn't mean a dump like that. I meant an adrenaline dump. But it is. It really wipes you out. It's a real strange feeling when I've come back from Vegas.
Yeah, my tip for that is basically get there, stay up for as long as you possibly can the first night.
Yeah.
I don't nap, because I find if I nap, then I won't get up. I'll just sleep through. So I try and stay up to at least 10.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sometimes I get to 10 and I'm knackered. Sometimes if I'm on a hot streak on video poker, I'll still be there at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
But don't go straight to bed. Stay up. You'll thank me for that when you then wake up at a decent time.
Yeah, we've done that. I agree with you. We've done that both times. We've stayed and we got there. I think the flights from Manchester were like 12:30 on a Sunday. And then we land about 3:00 on the Sunday afternoon. So you've it's the afternoon time when you get there, which is hard to comprehend. And then you've just got to stay up. You've absolutely just got to go with it, haven't you? To at least, like say, 10 o'clock at least.
Vegas helps because once you get there, you'll know. You'll just feel it, and you have a couple of drinks. The bright lights. Go for a walk. Go for a wander around. Just soak in Vegas.
Yeah, that's what you say.
If you're like me, you're probably be on a slot machine before you leave the airport, but that's another story.
well, actually, you can help me out, actually, because I had an argument, which I'm sure my sister's going to watch this, and my wife and my brother-in-law. I'd read that when you go into the hotels, the best paying machines are the ones closest to reception, because when people
bullshit.
Is it bullshit? Oh, you
bullshit.
just ruined it. I had a big story and a spiel to them, and they were like, even they weren't buying it. And I was like, no, this is what I've said. They're a bit higher up the machines I've read and all this. So, myth buff me. Go on.
There may be maybe a percentage difference. I mean,
yeah,
because the payouts are going to be different from casino to casino, right?
Yeah,
but it's not going to. The difference, in my opinion, the difference is so small you're not going to notice it.
Yeah,
and it's just all completely randomly generated.
Right, okay.
It's just a computer. So even when I don't want to ruin this, if anyone doesn't want to like ruin the fun that is a bonus game on a slot machine, you may want to fast forward at this point. Yeah. Because when you get a bonus game and you're like on a slot and you're picking boxes to reveal amounts, you have to match, say, 3 amounts to win that amount.
Yeah.
It's already been decided what you're going to win.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what order you pick the boxes in. It's predetermined.
It's going to happen.
So, yeah. You know, so I don't want to ruin anyone's fun, but.
No, it is. It's a computer generated thing, isn't it? So it's
literally down to the time you press the button. You
know,
a split second later, it generates a completely different code, and then you'll get a completely different result.
Yeah, no, I don't think I agree. It is what it is, and it's a computer game, really, in some respects. So yeah,
I mean, what they may do is put let's say if you're playing like old reel slots, like the 3 reels, they generally are better paying. You generally have a higher percentage payout on those machines, in my opinion, anyway. And I think there is statistics to back that up. Than the new sort of ones with lots of lines, lots of crazy bonus rounds, which might pay you more frequently, but will pay you smaller amounts. So I guess you might have more of those crazy ones that pay you more frequently, smaller amounts near the doors to trap people in, but it doesn't necessarily mean they pay better.
Yeah, true.
On the reels, you could hit like 3 7s once every half an hour and win $1,000, whereas you could be winning $10 every 5 minutes on one of the more modern machines.
Yeah. I know excuse me, I've watched Nicky's videos and Matt's, and one of them is that Buffalo. Buffalo
classic Buffalo.
Yeah, the Buffalo.
I've been buffalo hunting many a time.
Any good?
Buffalo is one of my favorites. It's definitely worth playing, even though I nearly always get my ass handed to me.
Yeah,
it's worth it. Buffalo's Buffalo. I mean, you can have a really good bonus round. The key there is getting the bonus.
Yeah,
you have a really good bonus round. I've seen people win $7,000 on Buffalo.
Oh, shit.
Right. But equally, I've seen people win $10 on a bonus.
Yeah.
So Buffalo is one of the iconic ones that I always will play.
Yeah.
I'll also always play Wheel of Fortune, Top Dollar.
Yeah.
I will usually play Cleopatra 2, but that's usually, unless you find the penny version, that's $20 a spin. I'm trying to think what else. It depends what takes my fancy. Quick hits are good if you want to bet low and you're low on your bankroll and you need to make a bit of money back. You've been on a bit of a losing streak. You can play quick hits. They're normally like $2.50 a spin, I think.
Yep.
At this penny rate. They're normally I normally find I get a pretty good return on those.
Yeah, they're good.
If you're interested in the slots, you should watch Brian Christopher's channel on YouTube. He plays slot machines every day.
Let me put this down because I will be watching him now. That'll be my new obsession.
And he's a little bit. People were divided over him because he's become a little bit. What's the word I'm looking for? Like everything he in his videos now, he also markets his own like clothing line and stuff.
Yeah.
But he plays at Cosmopolitan. He lives in California, so he's always in Vegas. And he has some really good videos, just so you can see what different slots are like, and then you can pick what you want to play. The other one I'd recommend is Diana Ivani, or Avoni. It's Evoni. She's also from California. She also does slot videos, but she doesn't sell anything. It's completely just slot videos, so she's worth checking out too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll get onto them.
You'll
Definitely.
get some. I mean, some of them are now playing real high limits because it gets some more views. You know,
Yeah.
Brian's doing some like $100 spins.
Oh my word.
You know, but they also play penny slots still. So if you're just like looking to have fun, maybe play a slot machine for a few hours, check some of their videos out.
I will do. Yeah, we don't go crazy. I literally, if I get above my stake, then I'll go as high as I can go. But we're only talking $4 or $5.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, I can't. No, because I'm bad. I'm my like OCD are kicking, and I literally would be betting my house. I think if I really went to town. I'm not a big gambler like that, but I know you get pulled into it. I need to be reined in. I think so. The missus raises.
The one thing to watch for is don't automatically by mistake hit max bet. You should always bet the maximum amount of lines.
Yep.
Okay, because some bonus rounds you can only get if you bet the maximum amount of lines.
Yeah,
that's not necessarily the maximum stake, because you could max bet might be maximum amount of lines times 5.
Yeah.
So you can go from betting, I know, $5 to $50 in the press of a button, and there's no warning. You'll just take your money.
Yeah, and then
I've made the mistake before and ended up betting $200 on one spin.
Oh my word! I take it you didn't win.
Did I win? No, I didn't win. I think I did win something, but I didn't win the money back.
Oh no, that's
things where you're like, well, times I've done it and I've actually won. So it was like, oh, lucky I did that. But 9 times out of 10, just be careful. Take your time. I've seen people like mashing the button because it's predetermined. So you could just mash the button and it'll stop the spin each time and what the result would be.
Yeah,
some people do that. For me, if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. But I want to enjoy the experience.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. That's the whole point of me going.
And don't bet more than you can afford to lose. If you go in with a budget of $100 or $1,000 a day, don't go over it. Don't be tempted to go over it.
Yeah, you're chasing nothing then, aren't you?
Don't go back to the safe, as Matt Bridger would say.
Yeah, he does go back to the safe the odd time, doesn't he?
Yeah, but when he goes back to the safe, it's quite funny.
Yeah, he's usually levered as well, isn't he? Which is always funny. I like that. I do like his video. Matt's one of him and Nicky are good. Matt's a funny. They both are, to be honest.
I just loved Colin on this last trip he did. He brought his friend Colin along, and Colin made it for me.
He was just deadpan, wasn't he? And then he wasn't really gambling on some of the
I like
things.
how he just like basically lost every time.
Yeah,
and he just stood there randomly in the shots. Oh, Colin.
Poor old Colin. Yeah, he did a Q&A. I've not watched the Q&A.
Oh, the Q&A is good. You should watch the Q&A.
I'll have to watch it because Colin was just like, it was like, I don't know, like not a Laurel and Hardy, because that's not being disrespectful, but I mean in the way it's like one's deadpan and one's funny. Like Matt's very funny, and Colin, he had a very dry sense of humour.
Yeah, that's why I like. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about it because he's going to think I'm some kind of weird, crazy stalker.
He probably said that about me. Like I've not even met him properly.
For Colin, that's weird.
Yeah. But I think it's been great tonight, this Steve. Is there anything else you want to talk about? We'll definitely have to get you to come on, mate, when you've been to Vegas. Definitely have to come on and get chatting again. And obviously, anybody who wants to get hold of you for tips on Las Vegas, obviously I'm following you. I've got your details, but it's on Twitter. It's at Las Vegas UK and your website as well, Steve?
It's lasvegasus.com.
Which it is, and I'm not just saying this because you've come on. It's a real good source because there's loads of things I'm going to read up on that. Especially with it being in one place, usually you find snippets on different websites and they'll concentrate on everything. But for anyone going, even if you're a bit of a veteran, which I'm not a veteran, but I've been a few times, obviously, I'm still going to be reading up on what you've put up there. So it's been really good, mate, tonight. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love to talk about Vegas. I could talk about it for hours.
Oh, man, I could.
If you go to the website, you'll find that I'm updating it every day too. Well, more or less every day. I'm trying. It's just a hobby. I've got a day job, unfortunately. But I'm updating it all the time. So if there's anything you want to see on there or you think be useful, tweet me, let me know, because it's just like a big online resource for Vegas, and it's targeted at British visitors, which I think is quite unique. You don't get a lot of that out there, and it's all free.
Exactly.
Buy the guidebook. It's optimized for your smartphone. So, for example, the tipping guide, you can look it up on your phone when you're there or screenshot it, whatever. It's printable. So, it's all on there.
Exactly. And I think I will definitely be using it because I'm just a geek when it comes to things like this. I always like to go fully loaded with stuff. Like I know what I'm talking about when really I'm just ripping off what you've had to research and do yourself. So, No, but thank you, Steve. It's been really good. And yeah, so please give Steve a follow. Anyone who wants any information, if you go to Vegas or family members, then, just drop him a line and I'm sure he'll help.
Yeah, so tweet me. I reply to anyone.
Exactly.
I don't discriminate.
No, and I'll put all the links in the podcast bio here for your website and Twitter and everything else. And obviously, I want to get Matt on, who was going to come on over Easter, and then Nicky's going to come on after his trip late in the year. So we'll have a bit of a chat about their vlogs and stuff, and I can sort of get that on there so people can get into it. Because they are funny, irrespective of being Vegas. They are good, informative things, but in a light-hearted way. It's not too formal. So yeah, no,
I
thank you.
The two best vloggers in terms of Vegas.
Yeah,
and they're both British.
Exactly.
What does that tell you?
Exactly. Oh, we need them to be United fans, and I'll be even happier. But I can live with it.
Well, I'm not sure about that. But I would say as well. Obviously, I'm in Vegas in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in Vegas at the same time as me, have a look on the website because there's a meetup happening at Cosmopolitan. On, I think I'm trying to remember here. It's the Thursday, the 5th of April. It's whatever that Thursday is. It is the 5th. Yes, it is the 5th. So just go online, sign up if you're going to come along, and yeah.
Say Las Vegas meetup. You're right, 5th of April.
Yeah.
On there. So yeah, that's on the site as well.
If you want to come along, and if not, it'll just be me drinking. But hey, I'll be doing that anyway. So it's all good.
Exactly. No, brilliant. Right. Well, this has been episode 39 of the Contextual podcast. Big thanks to Steve. He's now become a good friend of the podcast and obviously of myself for all his tips. I'm sure I'm going to be mithering somewhat rotten for the rest of the year now and listening to what he's got to say about Sin City. And, I'll see you again later on the week. Take care, guys.